I am so sorry I let them influence my mind against our bond. This is one of the hardest things I have ever had to say. Not because the words are complicated, because saying them out loud means fully acknowledging something I have been carrying privately for too long, that I let other people into something that should have only ever belonged to us. I let their voices in. That is the truth I keep returning to, not all at once, not dramatically, slowly, the way poison works. A comment here, a question there, small seeds planted in moments of vulnerability that I did not protect carefully enough. I should have protected them more carefully, should have recognized what was happening while it was happening, should have understood that not everyone who offered an opinion about us had our bond's best interest anywhere in their thinking. But I did not see it clearly enough in time. And what I let in did damage, real damage to the way I was seeing you, to the way I was interpreting things you did and said, to the trust that should have been the last thing I allowed anyone outside of us to touch. They did not know you. That is what I understand now with a clarity that arrived too late. They knew a version of you filtered through their own limitations, their own fears, their own unresolved things, their own reasons for needing our bond to be something other than what it actually was. And I listened. I sat with their words and let them rearrange what I knew to be true about you. Let their doubts become my doubts. Let their narrative slowly overlay my own direct experience of who you actually are. That is the part I cannot forgive myself for easily. Not what they said, what I did with what they said. Because I knew you, not from a distance, not from observation, from the inside of actually being known by you in return. I had direct access to the truth of who you were, and I let people who had never been anywhere near that truth talk me into questioning it. I chose their voices over my own knowing, over the evidence of every moment we had actually lived together, over the specific and detailed and completely personal knowledge of you that no one standing outside us could ever have had access to. And in doing that, I did something I am deeply sorry for. I betrayed the bond. Not loudly, not with intention, but in the quiet daily way of someone who stopped defending what was real against what was being said about it. I stopped defending you when they spoke about you in ways that were not accurate, when they framed things in ways designed to create distance between us, when they offered their interpretation of your actions instead of simply trusting what I already knew about your heart. I should have said, "This is not who they are. I know them. You do not. What you are describing does not match a single thing I have experienced directly." I did not say that clearly enough or consistently enough, and the silence where that defense should have been was its own kind of betrayal. I let the noise become louder than the truth. That is the simple and painful summary of what happened. They were loud and persistent and present in my daily life in a way that made their version of reality feel more immediate than the one I had built with you. And you were not there to counter it, were not in the room when the seeds were being planted, did not know a case was being built against our bond in small daily conversations while you were simply living your life trusting that I was doing the same. You trusted me with something real, with a bond that you had invested yourself in completely and honestly, and I let people who did not understand its value handle it carelessly, through me, using my doubt as their access point. I am sorry. For every moment I let their words sit inside me without immediately measuring them against what I actually knew. For every time I looked at you through the filter of what they had said, instead of through the clarity of what I had experienced. for every small withdrawal from our bond that happened because I was carrying their narrative instead of our truth. I am sorry for not being more careful about who I gave access to my thoughts about us, to my moments of doubt, to the parts of me that were vulnerable enough to be reshaped by the wrong voices if I was not paying attention. I was not paying attention, and you paid for that. What we had deserved better protection than I gave it, deserved a version of me that was more discerning about whose opinion I allowed into the space between us, that understood that some things are too real and too rare to let just anyone have commentary on. Our bond was one of those things, is one of those things. I see that now with a completeness I did not have before, now that I have stood outside their influence long enough to hear my own knowing again, now that the noise has quieted enough for the truth to come back through clearly. And the truth is what it always was, before they got into my head, before I let their version of things sit where my own certainty should have been sitting. You are who I knew you to be. The bond is what I knew it to be. What they said about it was never accurate, and I should have known that loudly and defended it